Hello, my name is Tracy Allen, and I want to welcome you to Cooking with Some Friends. Hi everyone, I'm going to share a recipe today that I have been making for years and years, and sometimes we just call them Revel bars, sometimes it's chocolate Revel bars. There are a couple variations that I've used. Some have salt, some have, you can add nuts to it, chopped nuts, but today I'm not going to add the nuts. I did add a little salt, or I am going to. In my bowl though, I'm going to start with 1 cup of butter that's at room temperature, and I want to cream that. And I'm preheating my oven to 350. I have placed some foil on my baking sheet and then sprayed that, so that's ready to go. Then I want to add half of my flour, and you're going to actually have 2.5 cups of flour, but I just want to add about half of it now, and then I'll add half later. Mix in 2 eggs. And then I'm going to put in 2 cups of brown sugar. Yes, that's a lot of brown sugar. So it gives this such a rich flavor. I'm going to put in about 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and you can add up to a teaspoon at this point, and a teaspoon of baking soda. Now the last thing I want to mix into my bowl are besides the rest of my flour, when I'm ready, are 3 cups of oatmeal. And this is going to get a little harder to mix, but it will stand up. Okay, lastly, we have the rest of our flour. I'm going to take this mixture and I'm going to press 2/3 to 3/4 of about 3.5 cups of it onto my baking sheet, and then I'm going to reserve the rest of it for the topping. Just want to get it spread out and pressed on so it covers the entire sheet. Make sure there are no holes to the bottom of the pan, your baking sheet. And I do like to make sure mine's pressed up against the edge a little ways to make kind of a bowl or a barrier around the edges. And you don't need to press this super firmly in. Just make sure that it's, like I said, there are no gaping holes in the bottom because you don't want your next ingredients to go through. Trying to get it fairly even. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside for later. I am going to wash my hands here in a second, but in my bowl I have about 1.5 to 2 cups of milk or semi-sweet chocolate chips and 2 tablespoons of butter. To that I'm going to add 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, and again you can add a little bit of salt if you want to, and you can do this on the stove top and just cook it till it's combined, or you can do it in the microwave, which is what I'm going to do. Melted my chocolate chips and my sweetened condensed milk with my 2 tablespoons of butter. Now I want to put in 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and then I'm going to spread this all over the top of our bottom cookie layer. I should have gotten a bigger bowl. It's a really fudgy mixture, but it makes it so delicious. All the way to the edges if you can. We're going to bake these for about 25 minutes on 350. This is why you want to get your cookie as close to the edge as you can. It kind of makes a barrier for this fudgy section or layer. Fudge I can. Back with the rest of our cookies, and we're just going to dot the top of this. In the oven, and I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. Thanks for joining us for this session of Cooking with Some Friends. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and find us on Facebook at Cooking with Some Friends.